The Ukulele Review Podcast. We're back with another podcast, and today, down from the Big Island, we have Brad Bordessa. Did I say that right?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by. And you want to start us off maybe with a little bit of music?
Yeah, this is a tune called Decibel off the new album.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's a original instrumental.
Original instrumental, yeah.
Where can people find the album?
It's on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play.
And what's the name?
If Only.
If Only.
Yeah, it's the newest project of all original tunes and some singing stuff, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Where exactly do you live on the Big Island?
Honoka'a. Yeah.
And that's that's pretty near Puna, right?
It's quite a ways away. Like when I
Okay.
go and visit Chuck, it's an hour and 45-minute drive.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
Far out of harm's way.
Cool. So you haven't felt the effects of all the volcanic activity going on?
No, just a couple earthquakes in the very early stages, and then Vogue when the wind's bad.
Is this the one that Joel just put the pickup in?
No.
It's a blackbird.
Oh, okay. So tell us about your different ukes and starting with this one, I guess.
With this one. Yeah, so this is a Morbetta. I got to the point where my Kamaka, which I played for almost 10 years, the frets were wearing out, and I couldn't find anybody who was willing to do a fret redress. And so I finally asked Chuck. We'd known each other for about 10 years, and I asked him if he'd build for me, and he said yeah. And so we put this together, and first thing he said when I walked into the shop was, "Brad, we're not going to build you another Kamako." And from there he went and asked me what I wanted, and for almost all of my answers, he said, "Nah, you don't want that." And so this is what came out, and I absolutely love it. But it's spruce top, real super tight grain spruce top, and koa back and sides. And yeah, it's got the funny sound hole that he does, which everyone asks about. It's like, is it broken? What's wrong with it?
So how many years is that?
He built this in 2013.
2013.
Yeah.
Have you heard it change at all?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, actually, the first time I played it in the shop when he gave it to me, it was super bright, and I was like, oh, it's so bright. I was like concerned. So I played it with the Savarez Alliance strings actually for a year. Right. Until it kind of mellowed out, and now it's like every year that passes, it just gets more and more warm. So I'm back to Worth strings, and
nice.
Still, playing it as hard as I can, and it's just all there. Chuck makes a nice ukulele, and I'm really super lucky to play one.
Yeah, it's definitely got the warmth now, at least. I mean, I guess spruce can be quite different than Alcoa, and then just breaking in over the first couple years even can make a big difference.
Yeah, it's been profound, and it's changed color too, which I was surprised at.
Did you write that song on that instrument?
I believe so. Yeah.
Do you feel like it transfers, like as soon as you make a song on one instrument, it kind of has to stay on that one, or?
That's a really interesting question. I don't know. I mainly play this. I'm not one of those guys who has a whole bunch of them so much. So I'm not sure, but like I don't think it would be a problem if I just played it on the Blackbird so much. But I definitely wrote it on this, and I actually been tuning it down a half step because it feels like it's more rich and got a little more meat to it, especially when I'm singing. It's nicer because I'm singing and playing solo a lot for my gigs. And
I always sing flat, so maybe that would help.
Yeah, just bring the tuning down with it.
So this would be your main instrument at this point?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, but then I also have the Kamako, which doesn't get out a whole lot anymore, just because it's old and tired a little bit. And then the Blackbird I just got a couple weeks ago, and that's really nice. Like
Farallon?
The Farallon, yeah. Had a little pickup trouble, but I think we're on the right track now. And yeah. But the ukulele itself is really fabulous. I pulled it out of the case and was really impressed how well it plays, and just butter.
Yeah, Joel's been working on a lot of Blackbirds, huh?
Yeah, it seems like we go through them pretty quick right after they arrive. A lot of people have been almost like they're waiting for them to show up, because as soon as we list them, they go pretty quick. Especially the Claras. Like the Sunburst Claras, all of them really.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it's not like when a sale happens then it's just done. I mean, if people don't like them, they send them back, but it's pretty rare with Blackbird. Yeah. I mean, like all brands, it's happened, but it's not common at all. People love them.
Yeah.
Open, vibrant, lots of power to it, right?
Yeah, it seems like.
I feel like it's a definite upgrade than the carbon fiber. Just remembering what those,
I do like it better. It sounds more like
it just
a
breathes
woody,
more,
natural
right?
kind of sound.
Thing breathes more.
Yeah, the carbon fiber was cool, but you could still also kind of. It felt a little, not alien, but like it felt like a
alien technology.
This one sounds more like just like a natural material. I don't know if it's like a.
No, it's not just mental. It does.
It does, right?
But I've heard a bit of criticism for us calling it or describing it as like a wood sound, because people say, oh, it sounds different. But to me, it kind of does, at least compared to other alternative.
Yeah, especially compared to like the carbon fiber or something. I think it totally does.
It's almost like you need the Pepsi challenge thing. Close your eyes, everybody.
Yeah, I should do a double.
Do an honest take on it.
Prove it.
I don't know what you think,
prove what you say.
I think sound-wise, it's nice by itself and it's its own thing. But I mean, compared to a wood instrument, it is quite different.
Yeah. There you have it.
But
From the expert.
you know,
I should stop describing it as sounding like wood, but I guess I am coming at it more from like their previous instruments, you know, which to me sounded distinctly different.
Mhm. Well, I think with an instrument like that, you're getting it for other purposes maybe, so it's more durable and you got the stability.
Right.
That's why I got mine.
Right. But tone-wise, definitely more warmth than the carbon fiber. Did you try those before too?
I never tried one of theirs, I don't think, but I have played a carbon fiber one, and it was definitely really bright.
Yeah. So those two, those three, and then, I know you've gotten like a baritone or the BE Pono, that solid body Pono, or chambered body Pono.
That's fabulous. I've played that in my rock band, and we haven't had gigs in a while, which is unfortunate. But when we were playing more often, I'd play that to contrast my other friend who plays ukulele. So instead of having two GCEA ukuleles banging against each other, we'd have a little bit of sonic separation, and it was great for that. And turn it up as loud as you like.
What pickup did you have in it? The passive?
It had the Pono passive, but I went in and I added a Maisai because I was having string balance issues or something. So the Maisai.
You tended to like the Maisai, and Zach liked the Maisai, especially with effects. I remember.
I like the honestly. I think I like the passive when I think about it for effects, just because it's like a flatter signal or not as much juice. But the Maisai, I think, sounds really clean, like a lot of string attack, like. Just when, like, you can hear your thumb grazing across the string and stuff. But I don't know, is that your take too?
Yeah, I always felt like the passive pickup sounded great. There's nothing wrong with it, but I was having trouble actually getting the wound strings to stick out. I felt like I really had to dig on those to get any sort of volume out of them. And when you're playing, I was kind of like the low guy. Silly as it is on a baritone ukulele, I was the low guy. So playing riffy stuff on the lower strings, it just wasn't cutting through. But the Maisai seems to. So
it does have a bit more punch.
Yeah, for sure.
So anything else in your repertoire of instruments at this point?
I have a Romero Creations tiny tenor.
Oh, cool.
That Pepe sent me to check out. That's fun. And then just like really old, there's like a hula ukes that I have from when I was just starting out, but nothing that I really play too often that I can think of. I'm a simple guy. I just like too many options. Distracting.
I should go ahead and plug your website, because it's such a good site.
Oh, thank you.
Live Ukulele. I don't remember how many years ago I discovered it, but I was so impressed with it. It's like the only blog site that I've ever actually paid for advertising on, because just really well-written articles, informative, lots of sheet music and free, tabs for you guys on songs that you would actually enjoy playing. So go to Live Ukulele. It's spelled like live ukulele, right?
Yeah, that's what everyone usually says when they hear it.
It's the English language, man. It's
I don't usually correct them. But that's been a fun growing process, actually. I mean, I started it 10 years ago when I was like 14. And it was 15, whatever it's been. But yeah, I mean, started out just this little kid writing articles, and as I've grown and improved and learned more and more, I just update everything and try and keep it as fresh as possible and just honest information.
So what is music paying the bills at this point?
Yeah, from the website actually I'm able to do things like this and travel around a little bit and not do the gigging musician thing, at least, which is really nice, because I know that would be a big struggle on Big Island.
Yeah, there's not a lot, right?
There's not much.
5 gigs.
A year. No, it's not that bad, but
maybe some of the resorts or something, but and then a few clubs. But yeah, it's tough to make a living as a musician. It's good to have a side thing, but when that side thing can also be tied into music and that thing, it's like beautiful.
So yes, music is paying the bills, but in a roundabout sort of way.
Cool. So what are your future plans for the site? I mean, how do you approach it? Or like direction that is going, just a continually update with new material for people to learn, new articles, or
yeah, try and keep it fresh so that Google keeps me up in the rankings, and I still have the traffic drive, which helps pays for things. But I wrote the Ukulele chord shapes book a while back, and that's been really nice. From the site, it's an ebook, but you can also get it in the print version.
Yeah, and you can get that on our website. I just checked downstairs though, and it looks like we just ran out. But I saw some up at the shop, and told myself to bring one down to show it. But it's called Ukulele Chord Shapes, and describe the concept.
Yeah, so the concept is that, growing up, I had the Royce Akuma ukulele book, and it was fabulous. There's all the information you need there, but you open a page and there's so much content. It's like overwhelming. Each chord that there's 4 versions of it, and it's just, grids and dots the whole way across the page. And I realized after my experimenting and learning that you can basically bring the concept back down to just the 4 shapes that you can have for each chord. And basically the idea is that you figure out the string that the root is on, and then under that finger is whatever note is under that finger is the name of the chord, based around the shape. So in that way you have, in the book it seems like there's not much information, but with the method it's actually the same amount. But my goal is to get people thinking more out of the box, so that each shape is like, oh, it's not just a G here, or it's not just a C here. It's this shape, and I can move it to any of the 12.
It's not so like it's not all the letters and the sharps. It's just move it a step, and it just changes everything.
Yeah, it becomes that new chord. So it's a little more expandable, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. Rather than a book of 1,000 chord shapes and trying to think about, I got to memorize every single one of these individually, and just condenses it down, the minimum effective dose.
And I definitely don't claim that it's the best way to learn chords, but I think the more, variety you have in your learning style and how you process and think about things is really helpful.
You'll as you're starting out, you'll be doing so many new chords, and then only like maybe weeks down the line you realize like, oh, it was just I just had to move my hand just a little bit, and it falls into place, rather than take my whole hand off and try to re-put all the fingers back on. It's just a slight movement, rather than a whole change.
Yeah. Probably gets people like that barrier to entry when people come in trying to like, the overwhelming amount of information can kind of turn people off in the beginning, or feel overwhelming that there's going to be so much I have to learn to get to where I need to go. But when you kind of break it down, I think getting over that initial hump, just like what we do with the setup, the easier the setup is, the easier it's going to be able to play, and you don't run into all those problems. The easier that they can wrap their heads around those big concepts in the beginning will probably push you so much further ahead in the beginning in terms of learning and getting the fundamentals down, and build from there.
Yeah, there's like some concepts there that people will come back to if they are a beginner. It's like you can get some stuff there as a beginner, but then as you understand things better, then you'll keep referring back and see how to connect the dots going up and stuff.
Yeah, there's always more to unlock.
Well, let's hear some more music. That sounded so good. I want to hear more of your stuff.
Yeah, retune because we care. Corey grabbed this earlier in the day and started tuning it up to C. It's like, no, it's there for a reason.
He's gotta mess with it. He's a tinkerer.
got to turn up your vocal mic again.
There I am.
Yeah.
Check. Hey, hey. 1 1 1. Where was that?
So, you were talking about, your roots in Hawaiian music and kind of venturing out from there. What sort of directions have you been interested in? I know Tobias came and stayed with you recently.
He did. Right. That was fabulous. Yeah.
Such a good player.
That guy.
Awesome.
You guys got to jam?
Yeah,
nice.
A little bit, and just soak up some of his style because he approaches it so different.
It's funny. I see you guys almost similar in the effortlessness. There you go.
Smooth.
Yeah, it's just like the way you guys' hands move. It's like it's an up and down motion, but your fingers are moving within that. It's not like a sporadic. It's just a fluid thing.
And clean.
Yeah.
But he does have a really different technique.
Oh yeah, he's especially his.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't quite figure that out.
He tried to show us that. Just flick it. How do you do that, man?
Yeah. No, I don't want to do that to my youth.
But yeah, it was a beautiful. He came for 10 days, I think he stayed, and it was great.
So when you say his playing techniques or styles are so different, like what do you mean, like?
Well, one, his background. I mean, he comes from Denmark and grew up in that folk music scene, and that's just such a different sound that, as far as I know, no one else does on ukulele. So that's really cool. But then, he's the only other guy I know of who does the cherry picking style James stuff, which, he studied with James to figure that out, and it works so well for that folk style. And it's just amazing. But
now he's got a little bit different style. He's moved towards, that meditative sort of unique. It's really like relaxing.
Yeah. But I think it's a blend of that style and sort of Chemo's triplet sort of thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I still felt everything that he played while I was sitting there watching. It was like, that's so different from like Troy Fernandez or Jake. It's just completely other side of the world.
It is. Did you learn from Chemo too? Pick up stuff from him?
Yeah, there was one workshop I got to study with him, and that was cool. I remember he wrote out a sheet on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper of like all the stuff you need to know to play ukulele, basically.
Oh yeah, he did that workshop over at our store one time.
Yeah, I got the handwritten version, and I still have it. I actually found it the other day. It's great, but it has the right hand and then the left hand, which he always talks about practicing separately, which is so brilliant. And people try and cram both together right away, and the coordination isn't there. So he was always like, okay, back up. That's great, but back up and just do this, until you get it. And yeah, he's amazing player, inspiring guy.
And you can take that any which way, that triplet.
Well, I was just there playing Maori Brown Eyes and realizing, I wonder if, some of those weird things I do subconsciously came from, that week studying with Chemo. We'll never know.
Yeah, it all just kind of goes in there and factors in. So, have you set your sights on the next album yet?
Yeah, actually, I know what I want to do. I want to do a Hawaiian album and try and kind of go back to,
stuff like
a little more like that. Yeah, some more traditional Hawaiian stuff. I've been thinking about that, but then also how I'm going to make it interesting for me as an artist, but then also to be part of the scene without offending a bunch of people. Because, I like to push the envelope a little bit. And I have the background, but where do they meet? And where will it be interesting and new, but still sort of, pay respect to what has been and what I've learned from.
Yeah.
So I'm still working on, figuring out what my voice is going to be for that project. I think, that I'm sort of meditating on that right now.
It's always come from like the traditional, whatever music somebody's making is going to draw upon the past, but it's like any sort of evolution happens from people stepping a little bit outside, just, slowly.
I don't get the offensive part though. Is it just because it's taken, like if someone feels like it's taken, just even though it's a musical?
No, I think it's just pushing the boundaries. It's like, oh, that's not Hawaiian music. It doesn't sound like it might be something a little more contemporary.
Oh,
like I was talking to Stephen Inglis a couple weeks ago at Uncle George's workshop, and he was like, Gabby was radical when he came out. He offended a bunch of people. It was like, that's not Hawaiian music. But now we look back, and that's traditional Hawaiian music. Wow. So he sort of gave me perspective on that. I'm just like, as long as you have the roots, you're probably going to be at least understood. People will respect what you're trying to do. But yeah, I think as far as people being offended by it would be more the stylistic things, and driving like just for instance, I was playing around with a vamp that instead of the traditional vamp, you do a little bit more of a Peter Moon kind of thing where you have the flat 7, that sort of sound. But then I was playing it like this. Putting it, I think it's like seven times. So it's different, but it still might be a little bit relevant. That's what I'm trying to walk that line and figure out how to make it interesting in that way for me as a player, but then also still sound Hawaiian.
Yeah, I dig that. That's cool. I mean, because I can almost hear behind that like the backing band, gelling it together more too, and more almost like you could take that into almost touching on rockish type of.
Exactly what I was thinking when he was playing it.
Yeah, we'll see. To be continued.
Let's hear another song from your album.
Yeah, well this one's I had, and I just came up with it, and it's not really in a style I normally play in, but I had it, and I played it for Chuck actually. It's like, I don't have a name for this. What should I call it? And he said, "Oh, the jig is up." And so it's kind of like a folky Irish sort of thing. Goes like this.
Nice, man.
Yeah, does sound like a jig.
Celtic.
Yeah.
And so Chuck named that one.
That's cool.
And that's the hardest part about writing an instrumental tune is naming it, I find. Because you have the picture in your mind, but you don't want to just like be so blatant about it. You want to have a nice instrumental sounding name.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not the hardest part.
Well, for an instrumental song, actually, me and Eli have an instrumental song on an album called PBJY, which is peanut butter, jelly, and yogurt. And that's because of Amelie. So the song is kind of a dirtier rock song, and Amelie one day, Andrew's daughter, was calling something gross. I forget what it was gross, but she said it was like peanut butter and jelly with yogurt on top. It's like, oh yeah, that is kind of. I wouldn't want to eat that. So it's turned out to be PB&J1. There you go. It's a name to an instrumental song.
And she must have been like 5 or something.
Yeah,
she was.
Was it not?
Did you pay her?
Yeah.
That's why.
Pay up,
royalties.
I put the abbreviation.
Just gonna come after you.
I know you've made like 7 cents from Spotify by now.
Yeah, man.
Well, 7 cents is 7 cents.
Do you have your stuff on Spotify?
I believe it's on Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least the new album is.
Mm. So people can go there and listen to it for free before they go buy it, right?
Yeah. Make sure it's worth $10 or whatever.
yeah, right. But it sounds good and it sounds diverse.
Is it all instrumental?
No.
Oh, cool.
No, it's actually, there's only 2 instrumentals on it.
Oh, right on.
There's actually an Amazon review. It's like, play more, don't sing as much. But, in the past few years, I started out just playing and I never sang. But then I started teaching and started singing more. And I found that, especially writing songs, I'm connecting more with the music when I sing. Mm-hmm. And I don't claim to be a fabulous singer, but it's fun for me that way. And then you have the lyric content and there's, it feels like there's more depth to a song when it's presented that way. So then there's, like 8 singing songs.
Sweet, man.
Yeah.
Are you gonna sing one for us today?
I think I would. I don't know if the latency might.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I gotta look into that. But if you want to give it a try, I can use it. But if not,
yeah. Lately I'm of just one mind, and it lingers on. A pair of eyes and a smile. Took time to find my way, true north broke free. Now my compass forever seeks you. Beauty and a mystery, like holding hands in the dark. But a part of me wants to explain it. But thoughts die on my lips. If only words did it justice, then I might attempt to say this is love. Love, we might find our way. If only words did it justice, then I wouldn't need this song. 'Cause you would know my mind and I would never speak wrong. My time when every word falls short. Well, this is my only way of coping. Maybe with a melody, these lines can take the place of a tongue tied up around you. 'Cause thoughts die on my lips. If only words did it justice, then I might attempt to say that this is love. Love, we might find our way. If only words did it justice, then I wouldn't need this song. 'Cause you would know my mind and I would never speak wrong. If only words did it justice, then I might attempt to say, if only words did it justice, then I wouldn't need this song, 'cause you would know my mind and I would never speak wrong. If only words did it justice. Yeah.
That's sick, man.
Thanks.
I like that. That was nice. Yeah, it does add another element, you know, with the singing, and it's fun too. But you can add another dimension with the thoughts and emotions that words can conjure up, and the you know, emotion of a voice. It sounds good.
Thanks.
Yeah. You definitely shouldn't strictly be instrumental, in my opinion.
Thank you.
It's nice.
Yeah. It's interesting though, because when you put words to a song, it also limits the song in a way.
You're giving it context.
It makes it very specific. This is what the song is. This is what it's about. Whereas
because words can't do it justice.
Yeah. But then you have a great instrumental song like Europa or Cliffs of Dover or whatever, and you know,
that can go anywhere.
It's whatever you need it to be.
What is it? Is it a love song? Is it a you know, surfing song? Is it, what is it? Yeah.
It's about the cosmos. No.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I really appreciate you coming down, and I'm kind of in a rush. I got to go to the Uke Fest Gala tonight, but if you're free afterwards, we're going to go down to Zach's gig in Chinatown.
The dangerous Chinatown, dude.
He's going to be playing with his rock band.
It's dangerous.
They're good too. Spooky Couch.
Spooky Couch.
Yeah.
Nice rock band name.
You ukulele people, don't look that up.
It's good. Yeah. They're awesome.
No, it's just, you know, not ukulele.
It's just awesome.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This is great.
Keep up the good work, Brad. And we sell Brad's book, Ukulele Chord Shapes, on the website.
But it might not be in stock. We need to order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll hook you up.
We get it from Hal Leonard, but should we get it from you? Yeah. Anyways, we'll talk about that later.
We'll figure it out.
But one of those distributors.
Like,
yeah,
I'm on
one of
Hal
those
Leonard.
distributors. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Shoots.
Aloha.